Glutes. Most people think of a really strong glute contraction is tightening and pushing through at the end range up here, right? Either like squeezing really tightly like that, or let's say when they're doing a bridge, this part squeezing really tightly up here, right? And with a pelvic tilt. And while that does get a lot of shortening contraction, there are other ways to squeeze the glutes that I want to teach you about today. And one of the methods is to find glute awareness and motion and activity in the stretch, meaning not at this part, but maybe in that part when your hips are bent. Or also if you're doing a bridge, not at the top, but as you're lowering down, feeling still some glute work there too. So that's one thing. The second part is there's more to the glute than just pushing through. So the glute does three things. It extends, it abducts, makes your leg go out to the side, and it rotates out, okay? But now if you think about the relaxing phase, you can still feel the glute as you're coming back to center, as you go from extend to relax, or also as you go from way out into external rotation into rolling in, okay? So we'll work through those today as we get to know our glutes. Okay, so let's start down at the bottom, back to all fours, reconnecting to the ribs and the pelvis. Take a breath in, pelvic tilt, ribs down. Okay, that's locking your spine into a little bit of flexion so that when you're doing any glute work, you're not arching your back unnecessarily. Tuck under, move your hands forward a little bit, shift like this. Okay, not so far that you lose sight of the abs. You want to keep it tucked, keep the ribs down, holding, holding, holding. And back, so just doing a little bit of physiological quieting. Breath in. And back. One more. Tucking. Ribs down. And back. Awesome. So it's this same motion of forward and back that we're going to do like this. So now as you come forward, you're going to bring one knee forward, like not in between your hands, but moving that way, keeping your back grounded. Then you're going to lift the knee off and kick it back here, okay? Not up there, that arches my back. I'm going to keep that pelvic tilt, right? And even here, don't push so hard to your end range. That's where glute tightness or SI pain happens. Just stop a little sooner, go to like 95%. Rounding the back, shifting forward, relaxing the hands, take a breath. Reconnect to the abs and push out, forward and back. Relaxing the hands, lift up, push back, okay, staying pretty low. And back. And back. Two more. And back. And back. Good. And just to tell you back here, oh, let's start here. So here, the tendency is to hold your breath, normal. But notice if you can maybe just push through that breath hold it for like a second, and then use it as resistance to continue exhaling. So here, that's the breath hold, pushing through it. And then back here, it can feel soft in your stomach. Make sure you keep your ribs in and see if you can do a vacuum. That's a great spot for the vacuum of the abs. It shuts off the hip flexor so that you can just work your leg. So forward, here's the Valsalva, breath hold, push through, and then the vacuum in the back. Okay, so let's do 10 on the other side. Forward, relax the pressure on the hands, reconnect, breathe out, back. 2. If you feel anything in the SI, don't go so high. on this side, that means you need to put a little more pressure in your hands. Rocking back and forth. One more. Awesome. So now we're going to do a quarter turn. That's one forearm down, one hand planted. You still want to round a bit, and then pull your chin into your throat. And then this knee is going to try to get towards the elbow. So I'm using a rounded back. I'm not just hip flexing. Using a rounded back to get my abs engaged. Lift off that foot, hold it a second, and then push out like that. Okay. Back in, shifting a little forward. There's the Valsalva, push through that. And out, 2, 3, it's all about breath work. 4, and don't worry about height or type up there. 6, 7, so this is working the external rotation and your abs and your breath. Good. Other side, quarter turn. Try to get that knee to the elbow, round it back, and then push through the breath hold. 1, 2, don't worry so much about that end range. 3, oops. 4, 5, rocking back and forth, taking your time. Good, one last one. Okay. So now we're going to try to spin the hips a little bit. So the glute does external rotation, but coming out of that tightness is internal rotation. One of the things that most fitness people say to avoid, but it's important to do all of the motions your body can do. So you're on hands and knees again. This time you're going to try to rotate in and bring the knee a little bit to the hand. What you'll feel is if you tuck in a bit, your abs there are connecting. Okay, and you're gonna lift off and kick to the side. Rotate in, lift that hand off, push to the side. Rotate in, push to the side. 3, 4, okay, keeping the ribs down and a little bit of the toes. 5, 6. Maybe you can't go as wide as me, that's okay. If you need to go a little more there, that's okay too. Always breathing, never holding the breath. Last one. Good. And if you need to take little breaks here, if you feel like, oh my God, this is actually hard, it's okay to quiet yourself down a bit. Okay, recalibrate the breath and the ribs and the pelvis. Okay, other side. So turning in, lifting towards the hand a little bit, making the obliques work. Those are important abs too. And then kicking out. Back in, kick out. 2, back in, soft hand. 3, 4, 5, 6. Soft hand. That's something I have to keep telling myself. One more. Awesome. Take a break. Okay, next one. So this one is working the standing hip and the moving hip. And what you're going to do is drop down like this. I'm going to show you this way. Drop down like that. So that's actually a stretch of this hip here. That's where you should be feeling it. And then you're going to contract it and bring it to the side. Stretch it, bring it to the side. Okay, that counts as 2. Stretch it, 5. 5, switch sides. Stretch it. 1. Stretch. At this point, ribs down. You can vacuum a little bit. Okay? Anytime your leg is straight, if you can get the ribs down in the vacuum, that would be a good thing. Stretch. Okay. And now let's try to do 5 more, but this time when you put the leg straight, you're going to try to go into a straight arm plank. If you can't do it, just stick to the original version. So there, up. You're going to brace the stomach and slowly down, and then back to stretch. Brace the stomach, back to stretch 2. Never holding. If you feel like your stomach muscles are popping out, you're using too much bear down pressure, and see if you can do a little bit of vacuum. One more. Okay, let's do the other side. Cross over, plant, brace, softly down. 2. And the rocking back and forth is relaxing. Try to make it nice and smooth and not jolty. Last one. Awesome. Okay. A breath. Doing great. Next one. This is a direct target of the glute, but again, we're going to try to find the effort into the stretch. So back to quarter turn. Take a break for your wrists, and we're going to spin the knee. Okay. So it looks like that. And then you're going to come up and then slowly back down into the stretch. Okay, up, slowly back down. And we'll do 5 of those. Up, slowly down, looking to let go of the glute as the leg comes down. 1 more. Up, using a little bit of vacuum with your pelvic tilt. 1 last. Okay. Now you can continue with that 5 reps, or we're advance to what I want to show you now, which is alternating between that and a straight one, and coming down to the stretch. Okay. Up. 1. Slowly down, avoiding that big contraction at the end. Just a soft end range there. Up, keeping the ribs down, seeing if you can vacuum in with the pelvic tilt. Up, 1 last one. And up. Great, other side. Quarter turn, hand planted, there's some weight on that hand. Up, slowly down. Moving away from the knee being near the hand, you want it to be a little bit behind you there, pointing toward the corner of the room. 3. Keeping the ribs down by pressing on that hand. 5. Okay, and then we're going to go into the alternating, if you can, as a challenge. 1, and straight, and down slowly. 2, and straight, down slowly. Up, and straight, down slowly. That's 3. Breathing. Last one. Awesome. And then you can stretch that way, or stretch in child's pose. Take a breath again. Okay. And then the last one, until the wall sits, is this called Dolphin Pose. Both forearms are down. And then here's your glute stretch. And here's your glute contraction. Stretch. Don't worry about the end range. Worry about feeling something still as you're going down. 2, 3, 4. This one doesn't have any rocking. 5, other side. 1, slowly down. 2, keeping the pelvic tilt, keeping your ribs down. 4, 5, awesome. And now again, we're going to alternate between the bent and the straight. Okay, if you can't do it, if it's too hard, just stick with the bent. This is 1, and up, and vacuum with the pelvic tilt, good, and up, vacuum, 2 more, and vacuum, last one, and vacuum, awesome. Okay, other side, making sure the pelvic tilt is holding your back into a little bit of flexion, but you're not overdoing the pelvic tilt to feel anything in your SI or holding too hard on that glute squeeze. 2 more, up and out, and up and out. Awesome, all right, stretch, relax. Next, we're going to do wall sits. So we're going to take that new awareness of how the glute can contract into the stretch and do it with wall sit. Find it with a wall sit. So I love these foam rollers. You can use this one or the longer size. Put it right in the small of your back by your belt line. Lean into the wall. Hips not too wide. All right, bring it in. The roller will help you. So if you're down on the ground, you think you have to be wider. Don't make it too wide because then you don't challenge your pelvis or your core enough. So right under your hips. Then you want to tuck the hips under, but then think of your torso going straight down. Don't let it continue to squeeze through that way. Okay, tucked under and slide straight down. Okay, hold it. See if you can do a little more pelvic tilt. Keep those ribs down and up slowly. Okay, so if I look at the side of me, my torso is going straight down. Not this way and not that way. Breath. Straight down. Let's put your arms out straight there. Good. 10 seconds. Relaxing the feet. Even pressure on the front of the foot and the heels. And up. That's 2. Good. 3. And up. Now you can keep going. We'll try for 10. But I'm going to show you different ways to make it a little more challenging or a little more interesting. So hands here, come on down. Okay. You can try a bounce versus, don't let your hips move either way. Keeping the ribs down and the pelvic tilt. And up. Good. Do that again, bouncing. You can even do it in different ranges. Catching your breath. Good. Okay, another way to do it, put your arms here, come on down, keep the ribs down, see if you can raise your arms up without flaring, right? You're gonna tuck 3 times. Ooh, this is a hard one. And up, take a breather, Trish. Back, tucked 3 times. Good, and again. Awesome, maybe 2 or 3 more. Let's try something else. Let's bring your arms up, lock the ribs down, come straight down, maybe a bounce, and up. Okay, that's the most advanced. Tight, straight down, you're starting to feel some stretch in the glute. Okay. Good. Another way to move towards feeling more glute is after you did a couple of those. All right, that's you feel a lot of quads to shift your heels back to the wall a little bit. See if you can keep that down and see how low you can go. So somewhere around here, you're gonna feel kind of like your pants are stretching. That's your glute fiber stretching. Good. Not resting, staying a little bit above that, and then pushing up. 2 more. Down, ribs down. See if you can go all the way down into that pants stretching. Your glutes. And one last one. Set abs tight, no flaring, dropping straight down, looking for your glutes. And up, awesome. Okay, so that's the workout. Your legs might be tired, might be out of breath. So we're gonna just work a little bit on the breath again. Up overhead. Exhale, good. Arms behind the back. Exhale, rolling down. Relaxing. Okay, remembering that after a workout, your heart rate went up, your sympathetic system could be activated. So just remembering that cool down is to help pull you back into the rest and relax system. Enjoy, let me know how you did with it.